Hello guys, in this video we will understand about the chronic bronchitis and emphysema as well as the chronic obstructive pulmonary disorder COPD. So here is the lungs which that contain trachea ultimately divided into the tracheole, and tracheole will ultimately divided into the alveoli, and alveoli contain air sac. So basically the air sac will affect, and in this way also trachea also affect another. So due to the smoking major cause, but a lot more other causes we will discuss in this video. So anyhow, the emphysema will occur due to the smoking. So important thing you should need to understand, our liver produce the alpha antitrypsin protein. This antitrypsin protein will inhibit the proteases enzyme, oxidative stress production, and the elastase enzyme inhibition from the neutrophil. So for example, smoking will activate this genetic predisposition occur due to the smoking in the liver cell will lead to decline the alpha 1 antitrypsin protein. This is a defense protein, so emphysema basically increase due to this activity. And in this way, here is the alveoli require the oxygen while the carbon dioxide exhale feel difficult due to the build up the air trapping mucus overproduction. So in this, the carbon dioxide increase while the oxygen decrease will lead to hypoxia, hypoxemia, and a lot more other deficiency of the oxygen will lead to cause many problems. So the hypoxemia will occur, but anyhow, let's understand about the smoking will lead to decline the alpha 1 antitrypsin. And in this way, here is the bigger picture of the air sac, which that is the little part of the air sac, which that inside of the air sac contain a ciliary epithelial cell. This basically damage and decrease the alpha 1 antitrypsin will lead to increase the recruitment of the inside of the air sac where the mucus are present, will lead to neutrophil to allow to protease and oxidative stress protein and elastase, will lead to damage the epithelial, and in this the neutrophil basically damage the breakdown of elastic fiber, and elastic fiber will break, will lead to not functional. But this is not end, so elastase enzyme will work but also damage the mucus layer, but the ciliary epithelial cell will damage, and in this way this is the emphysema. While the progressive chronic bronchitis will occur if it will not stop due to the alpha 1 antitrypsin decrease. So the chronic bronchitis will occur due to the neutrophil continuously production of the oxidative stress, inflammatory mediators, and cytokines will inhibit the function of the epithelial cell of the air sac, and in this way also bronchioles inflammation and the breakdown elastic fiber to thickness and overgrowth and fibrosis will occur, and thickening of the bronchicular wall will lead to cause chronic bronchitis, while the emphysema will lead to cause coughing and other problem, and but it will progressively lead to cause chronic bronchitis, lead to obstructive pulmonary disorder due to the obstruction, due to the build up of the mucous membrane inside of the air sac to narrow airway, and in this the oxygen and carbon dioxide exhalation and inhalation will become difficult, and that is why the problem will occur. So in this way, emphysema and chronic bronchitis, and emphysema is the initial lead to chronic bronchitis. Let's understand with the other diagram. Here is the epithelial cell. So the mucus hypersecretion will occur due to the damaging, due to the oxidative stress, inflammatory mediators, and cytokines. In this way, it will lead to ciliary dysfunction, inflammations will occur, and in this way, it will lead to edema, smooth muscle contraction, and smooth muscle already contraction will lead to decrease the volume of the lungs, will lead to narrowing small airways, and in this way, remember the air trapping, and in this way important things you should need to understand, the difficulty in the breathing and oxygen consumption will difficult, that will lead to cause many problems. So in this way the mechanism is that for the cigarette smoker and the occupational exposure to dust and chemicals, and alpha 1 antitrypsin decline when. So, in this way, first of all, we will understand the smoke particle in the lungs lead to an inflammatory response with increased macrophage and neutrophil infiltration into the lungs. Remember, into the air sac. These cells release cytokines, chemokines, and elastases enzyme, which damage the lungs parenchyma over time. So remember this parenchyma cell. On the other hand, the occupational exposure to dust and chemicals is think about that. The etiology unclear, but however is hypothesized to be a similar inflammatory response that damage the alveoli, and the intravenous drug which that whenever you will use like cocaine, methadone, heroin, chronically inhalation, that chronically inhalation will lead to cause chronic bronchitis and emphysema as well as the chronic obstructive pulmonary disorder. But the alpha 1 antitrypsin decline in the liver, it can be due to the smoking, overconsumption, and the carbon monoxide poisoning. Basically, remember this carbon monoxide inhalation due to the incomplete combustion of the smoking will lead to cause this problem. And in this way, the alpha 1 antitrypsin is a serine protease inhibitor secreted by the liver into the blood, which inhibit the enzyme neutrophil elastase from damaging the lung tissue, and deficiency of the alpha 1 antitrypsin lead to unopposed elastolysis, and in this way the destruction of the elastin fiber in alveoli walls, and early developed emphysema will occur. And in this important thing is that the emphysema is the inflammatory stage, while the chronic bronchitis is the very inflammatory stage, which that produce a mucus to obstruct the airway, will lead to cause COPD, chronic obstructive pulmonary disorder. I hope you make sense about the chronic bronchitis and emphysema. See you in the next video for this. Bye. Allah Hafiz.